Hello. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to me yapping, because essentially that's what we finna do. Oh my gosh, I missed you guys today. It was a good day. It was a very it was a busy day, but it wasn't really a busy day. I had to do some grocery shopping today. And I am not a fan at all of grocery shopping. I don't like the fact that everybody, including me, is lost as fuck in grocery stores. Don't care for it. So I do my best to not have to be in there unless I absolutely have to be. But shopping had to be done for the household, and I always volunteer to do it because I am the only person in the household who is not waking up super duper early to go to school or to go to a job that takes them out of the house or something like that. So I go, I grit my teeth, and I bear it. And it wasn't that bad today. I go to Aldi and Publix because those locations are always relatively close to where I live, and Aldi was fine, but Publix was busy because I guess it's where shopping is a pleasure, so everybody and their mama wanted to go. But anyways, I was about to say November, happy February 17th, I believe. We are just trucking right along. 17th? Yeah, if you're watching this on Monday, it is the 17th. And if you're watching this on Monday, I am currently off doing creative projects, and I'm very, very excited about it. So here's the tree, the rose quartz tree. I'm sending all the loving vibes your way for whoever needs it, whoever wants it, whoever's feeling saucy, a little bit extra energy for you before you head to that appointment, whatever that appointment may be. And then, as usual, did you have water today? If you didn't, it's okay. You can remedy that. You can have some water right now. If you did have water today, I'm proud of you. Good job. Let's have some water right now together. 2 minutes and 32 seconds as I say that. Oh my goodness. For those of you that are new here, hi, I'm Yasha. I also go by Tato the Penguin on Twitch and other various locations. And this is my series where I just yap. I yap at you guys at the end of pretty much every day. I've been doing this. I just checked earlier today. 3 minutes and 3 seconds as I'm going to say this. I have been doing this for 2 months. So for those of you who have been here for the entire 2 months, thanks for being here. Even if you're just lurking and you're not really engaging, that's totally fine. I love that. I love some good lurking. Love me some good lurking. 3 minutes and 23 seconds as I say it. So look at this. Isn't this ridiculous? I can't seem to get it to, oh, there we go. Maybe. Trying to get him. Sometimes the wigs just don't want to do anything that I ask them to do. They don't care for my wants and desires. But yeah, do these videos every night, and they tend to be unscripted. So that's what I'm currently doing. However, I have but I'm currently creating a playlist of content that is very specifically spiritual in nature. And I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I might start doing tarot card readings, only because the deck that I was gifted for my birthday month is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the art style, and I was like, oh, I want to share the art style with everybody. I feel like everybody should see it. But I've never done like tarot card readings for a collective, so I have no idea how that process goes. I know that there are people who are really good at it and who do it. It might be one of those things where I just do like kind of a general reading, or maybe I'll talk about a topic or something and then do a reading. I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but we'll see. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days, so I think that's what we're gonna do. So I'm very excited about that. I think for those, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But anywho, how are you? How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling loved? Are you feeling drained? Are you feeling tired? If you're feeling tired, it makes sense. We are going through a very intense spiritual time right now. We are preparing for the spring. That is what we're preparing for, and the spring is where everything blossoms and comes to fruition, and a lot of you have been putting things in place and you've been planning things, and so you're about to get very busy during the spring. You've got a lot of stuff coming into fruition. I am very, very excited for you. I'm excited for me because my inner child, I literally every morning, I've told you all, every morning I talk to my inner child and I'm like, hey, would you like to take the helm today? And she always says yes. She always says yes. But it's kind of like a ritual now. It's kind of like when you first wake up in the morning and like you have a positive thought or you think about 5 things that you're grateful for and stuff like that. For me, I wake up and I ask my inner child to take the helm, and she does so, and my days have been just so fun and just so much more full of life because my inner child is just here to have a good time. I am loving it. So this morning, I asked her if she would take the helm, and she said yes. And it was funny because I was lying there and I was like, okay, like before I asked her to take the helm, I was like, okay, I've got to go grocery shopping today, so I've got to get dressed. Yeah, I've got to, do all this stuff. I have to plan my route. I have to check the grocery list and redo it depending upon everybody's dietary restrictions or dietary changes. But when I asked her to take the helm, she was like, we could think about that later. Right now, we're just going to laze in bed. And I was like, but we have things to do. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, okay, cool. So we were just lying in bed, and then it was really cool because my sister woke up and she had some things that I'm going to retie this. So my sister had some things that, like, interesting things she wanted to talk to me about, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. So we kind of had like a little morning meditation together. I loved it. It was great. It was amazing. It was the best. So we did that, and then I was watching some videos, and girl, again, if you are a person who follows my content for the spiritual side, I will always recommend you also go check out Jadina. I believe it's Jhadina is her name. I will always recommend that you go because that woman is locked the fuck in. The amount of things that she has said, and her videos always hit at the right time, and the information is always specific, and it's always exact, and it's always exactly what I need to hear when I need to hear it. It's scary. So I always recommend that if you are looking for that type of content, you go check her out because she's so dope. She's amazing, and she's funny, and she's pretty. So like she has so many things going for her. And I appreciate her greatly for being a vessel through which truth and information comes through, because there have been so many times on my journey where I have been lost as fuck, and I've been like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Why am I still resting? I want to get up. I want to do something. I want to have a project. And then one of her videos will come through randomly on my page. It'll be a video she did 4 months prior, and it happens to come up at the exact time that I needed it. And in her videos, she'll say some shit like, yeah, you're resting because you have big stuff coming and you just got done with a really heavy spiritual thing and you're trying to keep going, but you need to rest. And I'll be like, bitch, how do you know? You don't know me. She doesn't know me, but Spirit knows me, and she knows Spirit, so I will always recommend her page. She's so dope. But yeah, so my inner child was like, let's just rest. So I was resting, and then I stumbled across one of her videos this morning, and it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed to hear. And after that, I got up, I got dressed, I did my makeup, and then I went to the store. And let me tell y'all, going to the grocery store is exhausting, especially here in Florida. It's exhausting because the amount of people that are in the store, it's a lot of people. And then on top of that, it's a lot of like older people who have no spatial awareness. And then there's also, you know what? There's a lot of people who have no spatial awareness. This is not just the elderly. There are a lot of people who they have zero spatial awareness, and they are in the store standing in the middle of the aisles, or they'll be walking right in front of you, super slow. You can't get around them, so you just gotta walk hella slow behind them. Bruh, I know patience is a virtue, but I get close to losing it anytime I go to the store. And you might say, Yasha, all you really have to do is mentally prepare yourself and say, it's going to take me forever to get this done. And I think that when I'm at the house, but then when I get out there, it's a very different story and it pisses me off. So I did that, but 10 minutes and 10 seconds as I'm about to say this, so maybe this will help somebody. This is something that I do when I go to the store. When I go and I'm doing grocery shopping, for those of you who may be moving into new situations where you're moving away from your parents or you're moving away from roommates, or maybe some of you have left relationships and you're like, how do I function as a single person? I got you. So something that I do is I will go to the grocery store. I have a pre-made list, and on that list, as I am going through the grocery store, I will not only pick up the items, but I will say how much each item is. I'll put it in my notes app. So I have the item, so like toilet paper, and then I'll put next to it like Charmin, or not Charmin, or whatever the brand is. Charmin, Cottonelle, whatever. I'll put the brand next to it. And then I'll put how much it cost, but I will round up. I always round up $1. That's the trick. That's the trick to saving money right there. I always round up $1, because here in the United States, for those of you who are watching this from other places, we have mystery tax. 11 minutes and 11 seconds as I say that. So our mystery tax is, this candy bar is, $6.50, but then you get up there and it's not $6.50, it's $6.70 or something like that. So I write that down, and then after I get done with all of my shopping, I will add all of that up. And I add it up, and I have a specific budget amount that I spend. Just the amount. And then I will go, and I will purchase the things. Now here is why keeping track of the price is actually really good. Some of you might be like, well, I know how much stuff costs. I do too. But what I realized was, because of inflation and because price actually is not stable all the time, I am actually able to see when certain items go up $1 or go up $2. And then I can, kind of hit the brand or whatever. So it really helps you save money. 12 minutes and 12 seconds, as I said. It keeps you from being like taken up through there and swindled. You get to the cash register and you're like, why is this $100 when it's usually $50? So that is what I do. So that's a trick that you guys can do. So I bought everything, got back here, seasoned up some fish for tomorrow night. I like to season up proteins. 12 minutes and 34 seconds. Come on now. What is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we love this. And I season up proteins, and I like to keep them seasoned in the fridge overnight. So if you're the type of person who you're not like really good at cooking, but you're like, I got seasonings, you just throw seasonings that are similar in like taste, I guess is what I would say. I call on the ancestors to help me cook. I'll usually go, and my sister actually taught me to do this. What I'll do is, if I'm gonna season like flounder or something, I will go into the cabinet and I'll take seasonings and I'll open the cap and I'll smell. And if I like the smell, I'll put it down. And then each thing that I smell after that has to in some way fit the smell of the first thing. And usually, if it does, it's banging. The protein is banging. It's amazing, it's great, and the whole family be liking it. So, don't mean to toot my own horn, but I be cooking protein pretty well sometimes. But yeah, so I will cook protein and leave it overnight so that it has a chance to marinate. So again, if you're a person who you're kind of like new to cooking, or like you're trying to start cooking because you want to save money or because you want to get into it, some of you are culinary artists, then yeah, experiment with the food that you buy. Like, you can season stuff the night before and leave it in the fridge, let it sit in the seasonings. I like to use Ziploc bags or glass containers, depending upon the space that's in the fridge. So you can season it up and you can do it that way. And then the next day, all you have to do is cook it. All you have to do is cook it. It's an amazing process. I love it. I'm a big fan. Yeah. So that's what I did today. Got back and cooked. And then I watched some funny videos on YouTube, and actually my inner child had multiple moments today that I wanted to share with you all, because either you have run into this or you are running into it now, or you might run into it soon. So something that I found out today that's really cool about my inner child is that she loves being in the now. She gets excited about the future, but she's a very now personality type. So I got news today that something went down with one of our family vehicles, because of everybody in the house, for the most part, with the exception of me, needs to have some type of transportation in order to get around. So one of the vehicles, we found out some fuck shit went down with one of the vehicles, and so got your little ant ass. You really thought it was your time. It'll never be your time. Never again. What was I saying? Yes, so, found out some fuck shit went down with the cars, and I usually would immediately start trying to make plans, even though I'm not a decider when it comes to the vehicles. But I usually will step in, people pleasing, right? I'll try to step in and I'll try to come up with a schedule for everybody so that everybody's happy and everything. But my inner child was leading today. So when I was told that fuck shit was happening with the cars, I was like, damn, well, that's unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and get this grocery shopping done. And whatever, y'all need me to do, I'm free to do, since my current job that I have given myself is content creation and streaming. So all of my shit takes place online here at home. So I don't have to be out like that. That's better. So, wake. So that happened like 3 times today, where people came to me with information that like they were stressed about or upset about, and my inner child was like, man, like I really feel for you, like you can tell me more. But then after that conversation, she left that shit with the other person. And that is something that your inner child will do for you. A lot of our inner children don't have patience to constantly be giving attention to other people like that. They're very interested in their toys. They're very interested in their space and what they're playing with and what they're doing. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing for you to be more focused on your yard and what's going on in it and maintaining your yard than being in everybody else's yard. So, hug on and love on your inner child, on, my behalf, your behalf, because they're so great. Inner children are amazing. They're perfect in every way. So that was a really interesting thing to run into today, because I ordinarily overthink. 17 minutes and 17 seconds as I say that. So hi, if you're an overthinker or you overanalyze everything, and you can take a beautiful, wonderful, magical moment and turn it into a not so beautiful, wonderful, magical moment because now you're overthinking. Some of you, I would encourage you to really lock into when things happen, to deal with it right then and there, and then to retire it. I heard somebody say this, where they said that a lot of the things they deal with during the day, they're like tabs that open up on their computer. And so what they have to do is when they're dealing with a situation that they know there's not anything that they can do about it, or they know that there is something they can do about it, but now is not the time, they close that tab. So they'll close that tab, they'll literally write it in a journal, or they'll put it in a notes app, or they'll put it on their calendar or something so that they can think about it when next they need to, but then they will start focusing on other stuff and they will retire that. That is something that at first did not work for me. I was like, that's really funny that you think that my brain has the capacity to not think about the things that stress me. But that system works. Now, the system doesn't work if you don't have anything else to do, so I always recommend that people start projects, whether they be hobbies, whether it be self-betterment practices, whether it be a plan to get more water into your system, whatever it is. I think it is important to develop shit to do. So that way, when your brain starts trying to overthink, you're like, well, I have this other stuff that I'm going to do, or I have these other things to do. So again, you write it down somewhere, you put it in your phone, you put it in an alarm or something so that you don't forget about it, and then you keep it pushing. There are also things that you can look up online as far as like ways to ground yourself in the moment and not be so quick to overthink, or not focus so much on the thoughts that you really can't do anything about. Man, I used to stress about the future. I used to stress about it so much. And somebody that I knew said, like, the last thing you want to do is to borrow trouble from the future. And it's so true, because essentially what you're doing is you're taking your present moment and you're ignoring it in favor of trying to fix or trying to deal with a situation that's not even guaranteed to happen. Something else could happen. Even though there are a lot of things we're like, no, 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 no. This bill is going to be due at this time. I have to pay it. I get that. But there are ways that you can deal with that. One of the ways is sitting down and brainstorming. Okay, so what can we do? What are some solutions? I find that thinking of the worst case scenario and then getting creative about solutions helps alleviate a lot of my stress. I don't know if it would help you guys. 20 minutes and 20 seconds as I say that. But one of the things I do is I will imagine the worst possible case scenario that I can, that is realistic. And then I think to myself, well, what would I do in that situation? How would I handle it? And the cool thing is essentially when I work through those things and I think about all of the ways that I could handle it, I then realize I'm far more capable to handle it than I previously thought when I started stressing about that thought. So I don't know who this is for, but that may be a, what do you call it? That could be like a mental exercise that could help you when it comes to overthinking. Overthinking is the thief of joy. I know one of my friends, Kristen, she says comparison is the thief of joy, which it is. The minute you start comparing your situation to other people's, you fucked yourself, because even if they're not doing as well as you, you are creating the habit of comparing yourself to others. So then when you see people who you perceive as doing so much better than you, it can take you out. It really can steal your joy. So, overthinking really is the thief of joy. It is, because you obsess on a singular thought and you just keep going and going and going until there's nothing left in you. There's no energy, there's no joy, there's no passion, there's no vision. So, if that is something that you struggle with, I would encourage you to take some time out of your day or out of your evening. I'm really trying to keep this wig cap from showing, but it seems dead set on, ooh. Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. I changed my mind, and I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. Because a girl like you's impossible to find. Impossible to find. It's been one of those days. But yeah, I implore everybody to get a handle on the overthinking and to look at what they can do in order to fix it. Or not fix it per se, but how can you handle that challenge? How can you deal with it in a way that allows you the free mental space to deal with creative things? Yeah, so I think that's all I have on that point. What else do I have? Guys, I went from, 23 minutes as I'm starting this particular topic, I went from not having anything to do every day and struggling to stop myself from applying to like the jobs that I've always kind of had. I went from struggling to do that, not knowing where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do, to now I know that I want to continue to stream video games. I know that I want to create content online, and I know that I want to be a part of the movement to create online communities that are safe and fun and entertaining for people, and that help people realize their power. And I went from all that other stuff to this, and it's crazy. I feel so good every day having things to do. Like, I know I've already said this in a video, but thinking about the very first video game stream that I did like a couple of days ago makes me so happy when I think about it, because it's like, wow, I really went from I had never done it before to now I have done one. Was it perfect, and did I game the entire time? No. Were there a lot of technical difficulties? Yes. But did I learn a lot? Yes. And again, there are a lot of you. It's time for you to stop being scared of just starting. Because a lot of you, the reason you need to just start is because you don't actually have a brand yet. And some of you, you're not going to know what your brand is until you start posting, until you start creating that business plan, or you start doing a brainstorm board where you are looking at all the ideas for your business or for your music or for your art or for your clothing line or whatever it is that you want to do. starting and not being super put together is actually very inspiring to other people. And I know for me, I'm always willing to support businesses that are raw and authentic. When I have money, love to support people that I see that are doing what they're passionate about, and they're doing it in an authentic way. So, and I know I'm not the only person who feels that way. I have a lot of friends who are like, oh no, yeah, if I'm ever going to buy this, I always buy it from this person because, they like to do this for their community, or, whatever type of, what is it? Is it altruistic? That's a big word for Elmo. Essentially, people who are very, community focused and they want to help everybody. I'm always big in supporting people like that. So yeah, man. It's just really cool to be in this space and to be feeling so different than how I've ever felt when it comes to what I'm doing. And I have not seen any financial gain yet, but I'm still happier than I would have been if I had been making money and had chosen to go back to a job that was okay, but I didn't feel very fulfilled in doing the jobs that I've had before. So it is a very exciting time. Something that I actually can't talk too much about right now because I don't really know what the plan with it is, but it's funny because there actually may be, remember, I don't know if any of you have been following me for a while, I had mentioned multiple times that my sister and I were looking to move out because currently we both live with my parents, and we were looking to move out into a situation, but my sister is in school full time and I have not been moved to go back into the normal job force, which again was very frustrating and nerve-wracking when I first got that message from Spirit, because I was like, I've always looked for jobs, I've always had a job, I've always been able to put my realistic and logical skills towards something so that I could have a job where I could bring in money, and we're supposed to move. Where is that money gonna come from? And as I was just chilling out this morning, a situation happened, which I'm not going to go into it, but a situation happened that essentially a couple of people that my sister and I know are looking to be where we're trying to go. And those people work and they really enjoy the work that they do, and they get paid, and they are all in positions where they can afford an apartment with multiple rooms. And they're the types of people who are like, oh hey, I will cover rent, I will cover utilities as long as you help with the cleaning, you help with picking up packages, maybe you help with whatever, if people have pets, can you walk my dog for me? The possibility that a couple of people that my sister and I know might be in a position where we can move in with them, and they're like, no, yeah, we'll definitely cover you until y'all are in a position where you can make money, kind of in a barter system, where it's well, I'll cover you financially if you cover this other stuff for me. So keep bartering in mind. There are people, 28 minutes and 28 seconds as I'm saying this, there are people who are bartering. For those of you that don't know, bartering is what used to happen way before money became a thing, where essentially you are trading services instead of services for money. So it's service for service instead of service for money, or money for service. So as an example, I knew a person who was a cosmetologist, and she did waxing and she did hair, and she actually owns her own business. And when she moved from one salon to another, because she did hair, nails, I think she does waxing and all kinds of other stuff, and she's really good at it. And she was looking to decorate her shop, but she couldn't find anything for a reasonable price, and all the stuff she was finding was too expensive. She had a client who reached out to her and said, hey, I don't really have the money to get these really nice braids done, but I've got a wedding coming up, I've got an interview coming up, and I really want to get my hair done. Is there any way we can work something out? And they talked about it, and the person who I know who owns the salon was like, I'm really trying to figure out a way to decorate my salon space. And the girl was like, oh, I got you. And she was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I have a bunch of shit. Chairs, rugs, tables, shelves. She had all this extra stuff. And so the trade is that my friend who owned the salon was like, I'm gonna do your hair for you if you bring all this stuff and then, you know, help me move it into my salon. And so your girl, a lot of people would say, whoa, you got these really nice intricate braids for free, but she didn't get it for free. It was a barter system. She had stuff that she could provide, and it just worked out. Some of you, 30 minutes and 30 seconds as I'm saying this, so I don't know, maybe some of y'all watching this are cosmetologists. Hello. I love cosmetologists. I love getting my hair and nails done. I've actually never had a wax done. That idea scares me. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that painful, and I'm like, I don't know. From what I've heard and what I've seen, when you go to get waxed, you know, especially if you're waxing your bits, you go and you take off your undergarments and you kind of hold both legs up like this so that they can get up and in everything. And I just, don't know how comfortable I am for somebody to be all up in my business in such an intimate way, but I also don't know if I could take pain of things being aggressively taken from my body in such a way. So I don't know, but I kind of want to go and get a wax done at some point. But I've had my eyebrows waxed and I've had my lip waxed, but I don't do it anymore. It's funny because when I used to go to, there was a certain salon that I went to, and it was a nail salon, and I loved the people there. Like, they always were super nice, super kind. It was a great environment. It was super clean. Like, everything was great. And I always got my eyebrows waxed. And the lady who did my eyebrows would always say, what about your lip? And I was like, what about my lip? And she was like, you sure you don't want to wax your lip? And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I like the color of the area above my lip. And whenever I get my lip waxed, it's lighter. It's so much lighter than the rest of my face. And I do not like it. I don't care if other people like it. I don't like it. And so she laughed at some point because she was like, I'm just going to wax it. And I told her, I was like, if you do it, I'm going to cry. Like, I'm going to bawl. And she just started laughing. And she was like, you really want to keep your mustache? And I was like, yeah. Like, it's not super thick. Like, yeah, it's visible, but I like the way my face looks. I don't want it waxed off. And I had this conversation with her every time. Like, for a while there, because I was working, I was going like every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks we would have that conversation for like 4 months. And I was like, yeah, no, leave it. Leave my little mustache. I like it. It took me forever to get to the point where I liked it. And now if anybody's like, wow, like, I can see your mustache, I'm like, isn't it great? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it full? I like it. And if anybody's like, you look like a man, I'm like, I mean, clearly you have wants and desires, but I don't know, I'm not interested in solving that for you, because I don't know why you felt the need to come out your face and tell me that I look like a man. Like, and looking like a man isn't bad either, because there's some attractive ass dudes out here. So somebody's like, you look like a dude. I'm like, ooh, well, I'll take it. Because ultimately, it really does not matter to me. It really doesn't. As long as I'm happy in the clothes that I wear, and as long as I'm happy with the way my hair looks and the way my face looks, and this is something that I've been talking about a lot recently, if you are happy with the way you look, and even if you aren't happy with the way you look, do not let haters come at you, come out their face, and be telling you anything that makes you feel bad. Fuck them. The reason a person would say that to you is because they do not like themselves. They really don't. I have seen so many people, men and women. Jeez, my little wig cap is just like bloop, 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 bloop. I've seen so many people, men and women, insult people in the way that they look and the way that their bodies look, and I'm like, but you don't look. You sure you wanna be talking all that shit? I mean, 34 minutes and 34 seconds since I say this, but it's like, are you sure you want to be talking all that shit? I'm not saying you're ugly, but you know, I'm just saying, may he without sin cast the first stone, face ass. Like, you gotta let's say. So Don't let these haters be talking about you. Don't let them. Because you are so beautiful. You're so powerful. I don't know, like, Yasha, you don't know what I look like. I don't need to know what you look like. I really don't. Because the nature of existing is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I've seen people who a lot of people be like, they look toe up from the flow up. And if they have a hideous personality, then yes, fugly. It's just not happening. Like, it's ass booty cheeks. We don't want any of that. But what I find is that there are a lot of people who are not conventionally attractive or fit the westernized beauty standard. And they're some of the sweetest people. And something that I actually deal with because 35 minutes and 35 seconds, vulnerability moment, I'm actually attracted to pretty much all genders. I'm attracted to pretty much all ethnicities of person. I'm attracted to most heights, if not all heights. Physical build, hair color, eye color, it really doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't. I know when it comes to like the connection, that's different. So when it comes to like a romantic connection, this is different. But as far as just physically being attracted to people, I've become attracted to a lot of people I wasn't even attracted to at first because of the nature of their personality. A lot of people joke about the whole, oh, they have a wonderful personality, so it means they're ugly. And I disagree. I feel like a lot of people use that whole, they have a great personality to try to say somebody's ugly, but essentially what you're saying is that you care a lot about the way people look. You're trying to not sound shallow as fuck, is kind of what it sounds like to me. I don't know, no judgment. But it does sound weird to me when people say stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just like, listen, if you're not trying to bed all of these people, then why are you talking so much about what they look like? That's a bit odd, friend. It's a bit odd. So when I have friends that are like, yeah, this guy called me ugly, or this girl said that I was short, and, you know, she doesn't like my hairline and all this stuff, I'm like, ignore them. Live your life. Focus on your journey. For all of my people who are on their soulmate journey, I want you to enjoy thinking about your soulmate. I want you to enjoy bringing your soulmate into your space, but I also want you to make sure that you decenter your soulmate from your life. Do not let your soulmate journey be the one thing that you are obsessed and focused on. Don't let it just be that. Hobbies, your purpose, your passions, things that you would like to do, and again, things that feed your inner child. Your inner child should actually be one of your greatest loves, in my opinion. Your inner child really is going to be there and is going to remain there and has been there longer than anybody else has or ever will. So this is a really good time to lock it in with them and get good with them, and then to be pleasantly surprised when your person just boom comes through the door of that coffee shop and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, I was just sitting here being all cute reading my book and here you come. Like, you know, turn that shit into a novel. I don't know why I started talking about all that, but yeah. So it's been a good day. Connecting to my inner child has been fun. I'm really, really, really enjoying this process of building, essentially kind of building my brand, if that makes sense. Because like streaming video games and doing content creation and all of that, there is like a vibe that comes with all of those things. And it's essentially owning one's own business to do stuff like that. Bro, this hair finna piss me off. Okay, it looks okay. But it's essentially like being a content creator. If you're a person who's creating content, like any type of content, music, anything, that in itself is a job. Even if you're not getting paid, it's a job because it takes effort to do. It takes time to do. You're getting your creative, you're using up creative energy in order to get it done. And so I'm just really excited about this content creation journey because so far it's been really fun. Like the last 2 months have been so much fun for me. I mean, I've definitely had my times where I've been depresso espresso and I've been like, I don't want to be here anymore. Is it worth it? Why? I've definitely had those moments. But for the most part, I am actually really enjoying what I'm doing now. And it's really cool because I'm running into people and I am becoming more confident in telling them what it is that I like to do or what it is that I'm doing. And so I feel it in my gut. I feel it in my gut that things are going to come from this because I have never felt this happy and this confident in a chosen path before. Like, for years I was confused, for years I was questioning, and I was like, what is my purpose? What is my soul's purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And I never had an answer for that. And now I do. But it really is cool because it's like I've been offered a lot of options here as of late, again, that I can't really talk about, but I've been shown a lot of potential options that I have. And I've been like, fuck, I didn't realize all these options were gonna pop up. And again, as things happen, I'm gonna talk more about them. But it's just a really cool situation. Like, I'm really fucking excited. But yeah, it's just amazing to look back at my journey in October. Excuse me. And I thought things were gonna happen a certain way. And they didn't, and I was upset when they didn't because I was like, well, this was my idea of success. And I'm glad that they didn't happen because that wasn't actually my idea of success. My idea of success is doing the things I'm doing now. So I'm very, very excited about everything, and things are going very well. And I look forward to sharing those things with you, and I look forward to talking to you all and potentially meeting some of you in person at some point down the line. You know, being in lives with you. I checked and I have 969 subscribers. Yes, 969. It's a fantastic number. It's absolutely fantastic for all the reasons that you think. And I was like, that's crazy, because I thought, because I wasn't seeing notifications and stuff, I thought like my engagement and everything was slowing down a lot. And I think I told you guys in another video, I had started to worry, and I was like, damn, like, is it not, like, is it not helping people? Is it not going anywhere? And then come to find out, sometimes YouTube just doesn't send the notifications. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I've gone in there, I've refreshed the page, I'll restart my computer, I'll log out and log back in, and I've checked the notifications, I've gone into settings, and a lot of people report this, is sometimes you just don't get the notifications. So sometimes you guys will comment on my videos and I don't see the notification. I'll just go back and I'll look at the video and then I'll see your comment and be like, oh, and then I'll respond. But it's weird that YouTube has been doing that, because it's almost as if I'm not supposed to be seeing it and I'm supposed to be trusting the process. So for those of you who are currently on your journey where you're doing things and you're like, where are my confirmations? Keep in mind that just because you're not seeing confirmations doesn't mean that things are not happening. It doesn't mean that the tectonic plates are not shifting, or that they're not doing anything. Oh my god, a wig hair tried to take me out. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Felt like a bug tried to fly on my nose, but I could tell it was a hair from my wig. But yeah, just because you're not seeing the confirmations doesn't mean things are not working. And oftentimes we are very, I have to see it to believe it people, because that's how we were raised. Think about it. If you were raised, 43 minutes and 43 seconds as I'm saying this, if we were raised in a society where we were taught to trust the process, and we were taught just because you're not seeing things doesn't mean it's not happening, do you know how crazy successful we would be? Think about it. We would just be doing things based off of trust. We would just be moving, because doubt and worry that things aren't happening is placed upon us. Doubt is not innately a thing that we just have. You know, when you're a child, when you're like a toddler, when you're an infant, and you think something's going to happen, you just think it's going to happen, and you operate as if it's going to happen, and you trust the process. It's only once we start getting older and people start placing, you know, whether it be that people place their own doubts on us, their own fears or their own disappointments in life, or whether it be that people who we trusted didn't show up because they were human, or because they had issues, or because they were focusing on the wrong thing, you know, regardless of why we end up feeling that way, it has a very intense impact on our ability to trust and believe that things are going to happen, even if we're not seeing the evidence of those things happening. I mean, I feel like that's the definition of faith. In the church, they used to say that a lot, back when I went to church. Faith is the lack of something. I can't remember what the saying was, but it's essentially hoping, but you don't have evidence. That's what faith is there's a lack of physical evidence to show that this thing is real or that it's happening, but you have to trust that it's happening anyways. Bro, I'm really not digging my wig's attitude right now. I'm not digging it. I feel like this wig is gonna be retired at some point. I'm gonna have to retire this. Some of the little wig hairs have been falling out. I'm gonna have to buy a whole new wig. Because I like when it, like, flips up, but it hasn't been doing it the way. Wow. Okay. Alright, you want to be rude? There. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. It looks okay. But yes, so all of those things. And even though I'm focusing on all my stuff right now, I still have moments where I get like really giddy about the idea of meeting my person. But what's really cool is I've been thinking actually recently about the idea of running into my person or my person meeting me while I am in the midst of doing things that I'm really excited about. So it's like streaming and, landing a great content gig, or having the opportunity to work with really great people, and in the midst of all of that, it's an ant. In the midst of all of that, I turn around and my soulmate's there, and he's like, "Hi, how you doing?" And the light's all shining behind him, and his hair is blowing in the breeze, and I'm like, "Oh my god, he's so beautiful." So I've been really excited about that. So something that, again, this is one of the reasons I think it's really important for you guys to really focus in on your hobbies, on the things that you're excited about, and on really locking in with your spirit and looking for or being open to what your chosen purpose is, what your higher self's chosen purpose is. Because I'm telling you that when you start locking it in those ways, time is going to pass really quickly, and then you're going to, before you know it, you're going to be like, wow, I'm being proposed to, or wow, I'm about to go buy a ring because I want to propose to this person. Bro, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for y'all. I've been seeing, in my real life, I've actually been seeing, IRL, I've been seeing a lot of happy couples. And by happy, obviously we don't know what happens behind closed doors. But I've been seeing people holding hands. Today, I saw 2 different instances where a guy was riding on a scooter and a girl was on the front, like laughing and having a good time. And these are on 2 different parts of town. 3 different parts of town. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like, I love that. I love that so much. And Spirit was like, it's gonna be you. And I was like, I know, I believe it. At this point, I believe it. I know it for a fact that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, and it's just a matter of who. So the when and the who is, I'm blind to it. But the fact that it is going to happen, I know it's going to happen. And so the trust is there. I'm really excited. And every day, my job is simply to allow my inner child to take the helm of the ship and to trust her with my life. Because at this point, I've had so many positive interactions with people as of late. It was interesting because I was walking at some point and I was like, man, like I would really like to buy this snack, and I just wish it was a BOGO deal. And then as I was walking up to the thing, a guy goes, ooh, BOGO deal. And I was like, what? The snack that I wanted wasn't even there. So it wasn't a BOGO deal for the snack, but I thought it was really funny that I had thought that as I was rounding the corner, and then this guy randomly yells out, what? BOGO deal? I was like, see, he gets it. He knows. But yeah, man, it's really great. And I think I think I'm becoming more okay with going grocery shopping as I think about grocery shopping for an apartment that I am sharing with more like-minded people. Like, I have enjoyed living with my parents because I got to be here for a lot of their firsts. Like, my parents, they growing up came from two separate cultures, but two cultures that agreed that therapy wasn't necessary. You keep all of your business at home. There's no need for you to go out and talk to people. And then for those of you that don't know, there was a lot of research being done by doctors and by psychologists and psychiatrists a long time ago before regulations were put into place to protect people, where minorities were very severely fucked over. So culturally, a lot of my older family members, didn't fuck with the idea of therapy or a psychiatrist or psychologist or really mental health at all, because there was a lot of distrust there, which is fair. But like, my parents go to therapy now. I never thought I'd see the day, and it makes me so happy. I've been here for my father's health has ebbed and flowed, and he is now in a really great place. Like, his health is really great, and I've been here to see him actually change his diet, and he walks every day, and I'm super proud. And I was able to be here to see him get his bachelor's, because he dropped out of school when he was younger, and he decided to go back once 3 of his 4 kids were adults. And he got his bachelor's, and then right after that he applied to a master's, or not right after that because he had other stuff, but then he applied to a master's program, and he now has his master's. And I'm just so proud. And then my mom is doing a lot of stuff in business as well, and she's doing a lot of work, and she's looking more seriously at dreams that she has had. And I'm like, don't let your dreams be dreams. So I'm just really excited to have been here to see a lot of the kind of generational cycles be broken. And I think it's one of the reasons I was supposed to stay for as long as I was supposed to stay. Like, y'all who've been following me for a while know that I was very, 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 like, I'm just trying to get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to be somewhere else. But I realized part of the reason I was here was to witness their change and to witness their growth. And I'm so grateful that I've had the chance and the opportunity to do that, because my parents aren't getting any younger. I will never have the opportunity to see them do some of the things they've been doing over the past couple of years for the first time. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity, and I'm really excited for what's coming. Again, it's like a couple of different opportunities that may come to fruition. But I'm the type of person to where I don't want to speak on something until it has happened, so that then when I report back, it's already happened. I mean, as far as like my content creation, I just kind of yap, about that and kind of what my plans are and my ideas, because I use these videos not just as, sometimes advice to you guys and spiritual guidance, and then, this whole process is very healing for me as well, but I also use these videos as a kind of like processing and keep like tracking my life. So I've gone back and I've watched some of my older videos, and I'm like, wow, things have changed so much since 2 months ago. I feel so much happier and so much more capable. And for you all, this is the process. This is what you're doing right now as you're watching these videos, and as so many of you are on your journeys, as you're looking to have the jobs that you want to have, creating the jobs that you want to create, as you're looking to lock it in with your soul tribe, your kinfolk, like your people who get it, your people who support you and who will care for you, as you're trying to lock it into your passions and lock it in with your inner child and your spirit. This is why it's so important for you to track all of that, so that as you're moving forward and as you're hitting each level, you have something that you can go back to and you can look at and you can be like, wow, I can't believe I'm here, and that's where I was. I can't believe I was doubting so heavily this person. I was like, I'm never gonna find the love of my life, and now this person's over here snoring loud as shit, and I'm about to go and make them some coffee, and I'm gonna be right here when they wake up. Like, bro, it's just a beautiful situation. So anyways, I think that is all I have for you all this evening. I think that's all I have to talk about. I'm going to be out all day tomorrow. I actually am going to be helping on a film set. I'll be helping with like the crew stuff. I get to paint walls and I'm very excited. Sand things and paint walls, so that's going to be super fun. I'm probably going to take pictures and I'm probably going to post them on my Instagram if any of you are interested in checking those out. But yeah, so I think that's all I have. I love you guys so much. Again, thank you for being here. I am always humbled when I see that there are more subscribers. I'm always humbled when there are comments or when there are people who like the videos or when I see views on my videos. I always feel humbled when I see the amount of views that happen on some of my videos. Like one of my videos has 200 views on it and I'm like, dang, that's a lot of views. So it's very humbling and it's very exciting. And I'm just really, really grateful. I'm just really, really grateful for you all and to you all for just, I guess, being here while I'm doing stuff and while I'm living my life. And I can't wait to have the finances to be able to hire an editor who can edit some of the things that I've said in my videos, and then, you know, when I'm doing new videos and I can talk about the things that I wished for that are happening, I'm very excited for the day that happens, because 2025 is happening. Also, I hear that there's a portal coming up in the spring. There's a spiritual portal coming up in the spring. I don't know exactly what that's about, so I would look that up if you're into it. Go see what the spiritual masters are saying. But yeah, man. It's getting crazy out here, but it's like a good type of crazy, so. Anyways, excuse me. I love you all very much. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I hope this video in some way eased your spirit or made you chuckle or was something that you could listen to while you did something else. And I look forward to seeing you guys. I will definitely see you tomorrow night, and I'm excited to share new things with you when I'm able to share those videos, the other types of content. I'm very, very excited. Okay, well, I love you guys, and I will holler at you tomorrow night. Bye!